How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the halloffilm YouTube channel. Now, you might be watching this on my YouTube, or you might be watching this through Voice Magazine, and if you are, hello, welcome to the channel. And today, as you can see on screen, I will be giving my thoughts and review of Marvel's latest release, the Fantastic Four, The First Steps. Now, going into this, I was kind of intrigued and kind of not, because superhero fatigue, MCU fatigue, and even to the extent of some Pedro Pascal fatigue since he's in everything. But I was also pretty excited because it looked quite good through the trailers and the early reviews come out, and I was like, okay, this seems like it could be MCU kind of finding the steps back. Um, I watched it not yesterday, the day before, on day release in cinema, and I was kind of disappointed. I feel like it does some things right, but it does more wrong for me. Like, it's called The First Steps. I do think it's one step forward and two back. I just think there's quite a lot of things that I didn't enjoy or didn't click with me. Now, if you're watching this, you've seen it and you enjoyed it, good. I'm always happy when people enjoy films, even if I don't. I saw a quote somebody said on Letterboxd, and I would like to read it because I think it sums up how I feel. Somebody said that praising an MCU film for being good in 2025 feels like praising a bird for flying. The bar shouldn't be that low, and I agree. I feel like after two major flops this year, Marvel have come out with this, which, in my opinion, um, it's it feels like it's quite mid. It's fine. It's not doing anything groundbreaking. It's not doing anything real bad. I just feel like it is a film. I watched it, and in years to come, if I do a rewatch, like prepping for the new Avengers film in the next coming years, this could be one that you could miss out, and I don't think it would really affect anything. It's also Marvel's first standalone film, I believe, since like 2000, and I forgot what year it was, but somebody said it's the first one without like a sequel in the MCU universe, and yet it still feels like another link in the chain, which it does for me. They we join the Fantastic Four 4 years into being who they are, after obviously going to space and then um, having the incident where they then get superpowers. They do my pet peeve in films. They tell us and don't show us. I get you don't want to do like an origin story like Superman didn't, but in Superman, everybody knows Superman's story. You can not even watch the films like I don't, and I know Superman's story because they've been telling it for like however many decades now. Whereas the Fantastic Four, obviously a popular comic, I do feel like their origins not as widely known. So it would have been nice just to see the incident happen rather than them tell us and they're like, oh, anyway, they're now the Fantastic Four. Um, I think the film is a hard carry by Vanessa Kirby, who's great as Sue Storm. I feel like she's one of the only ones that I connected with emotionally, because this is very much like an emotional, family orientated, human story. And it largely kind of doesn't connect for me personally. I feel like Pedro was fine as Reed Richards. Um, yeah, he wasn't awful. He wasn't amazing either. And I'm still kind of in the boat of, I like Pedro. I think he's pretty talented, but I don't understand the sheer amount of casting he gets and how he's in seemingly everything at the minute. Um, I think Johnny Storm finally gets treated with some respect, and uh, they don't make him a joke and ruin him like the other Fantastic Four films do. But yet, I still feel like at times he gets treated like a moron, even though, you know, he was a part of a space exploration team. He's clearly not dumb, so I never get why they portray him as like the idiot of the group when there's no idiots in that group. Galactus as the main villain was pretty good until it wasn't. Now, in this review, I might give some spoilers away, so if you're not wanting any spoilers, then click off and come back to this when you have watched the film. But I feel like Galactus was pretty good until he wasn't, because you've got a character in Galactus that is more powerful than Thanos, even with the Infinity Gauntlet. He's one of the most powerful characters in the whole of the MCU in the comics, and there is a very, very short list of people who have beaten him or even outsmarted him. So the fact he's in the Fantastic Four and kind of gets beaten pretty easy, I was just like, what are we doing? Because Galactus feels like one of those villains like Thanos. You build up to him, and it's all the Avengers trying to outsmart him, defeat him. You either do that or you don't include him, in my opinion. The Silver Surfer was pretty cool. Wasn't in it too much, wasn't in it like not enough either. I thought it was the perfect amount. That chase scene that they have in the film was probably my favourite scene and moment in the movie. I really, really enjoyed that. I also feel the plot was fine. It wasn't doing anything that was real, like super interesting for me. I feel like it's such a safe film. That's how I describe it. Like, there is no risks being taken at all. The only thing that's like different from previous MCU films was the aesthetic, which is like probably one of my favourite things of the film. Like, it feels very in the 80s and everything, and I really think that works for it. Um, we also need to talk about Franklin Richards. The CGI baby was awful, and I feel like Franklin. This is kind of some spoilers, by the way. So again, if you don't want to watch this, click off. But I know Franklin Richards is one of the most powerful characters in the whole of Marvel, in the comics and everything. I feel like he's kind of there for a retcon, like Adam Warlock was there for a retcon in Guardians, when he does nothing the whole movie and then comes and saves Star Lord from dying. I feel like the end of the movie with what happens, I won't go into proper spoilers, but what happens, and then I feel like Franklin Richards is there just to kind of do what he does, and then you're like, oh wow, this kid's powerful. Like, that's how you find out, and I just didn't like it. And like, one way as well that Galactus got beat was Sue Storm going like mom rage mode, which I get. I just found it funny that it was like that's how it got beaten, like the baby's in danger and now it's superhero mom strength, which I get. It is cool, but also it's also a bit goofy as well. Um, and the one other thing that really annoyed me was like, Reed Richards is a genius. They do a pretty good job of showing this. When they first go and talk to Galactus, again, some spoilers here, Galactus wants Franklin Richards so he can absorb his powers or pass his powers on to him, uh, to get rid of the eternal hunger. And he said he will spare Earth if they give him Franklin. they say no, and it's like, okay, I get it, you know, why would you give your kid up, all that, I understand that. What I don't get was when they return back to Earth, there's a press conference. Reed Richards, the genius, then tells everybody, oh, by the way, we could spare Earth if we give our kid up, but we said no. And then leaves, and then it's like you've made yourself public enemy number one for no reason. So despite being a genius, he just told everybody that, and it was like, is this guy dumb, or, you know, again, it's just confusing with how that come across. Um, and yeah, overall, I like the aesthetic. I like the score. Some of the acting was great. Some of it wasn't. And yeah, I just feel like this coming out as well, so close to Superman, which is so good. We are now in a time where the MCU is actually second to the DCU, maybe for the first time ever, which is how far Marvel has fallen. Um, and yeah, so that was my thoughts on Fantastic Four: The First Steps. If you've watched this film, let me know in the comments, either on here or on voice, what you thought of it, if you liked it. And yeah, I will see you all in the next review and in the next video.